I saw in the tape.
There is a saying that heroes are made, not born, and only a few Filipinos can exemplify this quote better than Manny Pacquiao, the Philippines' primary source of pride and inspiration. So put on your gloves, let's look back on his career and highlight 5 best wins of Manny Pacquiao.
I know I can beat him knockout.
Manny Pacquiao, TKO Marco Antonio Barrera, round 11.
What was your favorite superpower you had in the movie?
Like a Superman power.
This victory over future Hall of Famer Barrera in Texas gave Pacquiao the biggest victory of his career to that date. On November 15 of 2003, in an exciting fight, this was another knockout that was the result of accumulation rather than one single vicious blow. Pacquiao landed repeatedly to the head and body of Barrera, and the referee stepped in to save the visibly worn-out Mexican fighter towards the end of round 11. Barrera was awarded a rematch 4 years later that Pacquiao won by unanimous decision.
The difference in the fight was the knockdown.
Manny Pacquiao, TKO Miguel Angel Cotto, round 12.
Are you ready for this?
Yes.
On November 14 of 2009, this meeting with Cotto was supposed to be a titanic clash. The speed of Manny contrasting with the size of power of Cotto to create a vicious battle that would dish out punishment on both ends. Except, that is not quite what transpired. Like so many Pacquiao fights, these turned into one-way procession. Cotto had no answer for the speed of Manny, and punches landed from so many angles. It must have felt at times like he was fighting an octopus. Towards the end of the fight, a disoriented Cotto asked his corner how many rounds were left. At the end of round 11, Cotto's father wanted to stop the punishment and pull his son out. He was talked out of it by his fellow cornermen, and you had to wonder why. The bloodied and battered Cotto was sent out for another round of punishment until the inevitable stoppage came.
Millions of hits.
Manny Pacquiao, TKO Oscar De La Hoya, round 8.
Have you thought about beating up the 5 guys ahead of you so you could be number 1 this year?
No comment.
On December 6 of 2008, Pacquiao vs De La Hoya was billed as the dream match and was supposed to be a clash for the ages between two modern legends. Instead, this turned into an execution of a legend. De La Hoya showed fatigue early on and was forced to absorb some vicious combinations from Manny Pacquiao. De La Hoya was not quick enough to land and unable to defend himself for long periods. The fight culminated with the sad sight of De La Hoya pulling out on his stool at the end of 8th round.
Ready, stop. I'm the one who has to get in the ring.
I don't care.
Manny Pacquiao knockout and TKO'd Erick Morales.
We saw Juan Manuel Marquez training. He was drinking his own urine.
Manny was defeated by Erick Morales in March 2005 in a very exciting brawl. Almost a year later on January 21st of 2006, Pacquiao gained revenge with a crushing knockout of Morales. After 9 attritional rounds, Pacquiao put the fight away. Pacquiao's barrage of punches repeatedly floored Morales, and the referee stepped in to save the Mexican fighter in the 10th round. Pacquiao Morales is considered by many as one of the greatest trilogies of all time. On November 18, 2006, in the third and final meeting, Manny achieved victory in the series of dominant fashion. Manny stopped Morales from the opening bell and walked forward while delivering his familiar flurries of lefts, rights, body shots, and uppercuts. A dejected Morales was counted out at the end of the 3rd round and said after the fight, "Maybe I should not be doing this anymore." He was not the first to think that after a clash with PacMan.
He want a rematch because it's just a mistake. He just drink his urine. He forgot to eat his...
Manny Pacquiao KO Ricky Hatton, round 2.
He's going to fight me? He's going to fight me? He's going to fight me! Yes, he's going to fight me!
This is one of the fights that elevated Pacquiao to seemingly superhuman status. Ricky Hatton came into his fight as the IBO light welterweight champion, carrying with him a 45-1 record. British hero Hatton had survived so many bloody wars, gone the distance repeatedly, and was notorious for his toughness. In his only defeat, Hatton succumbed in the 10th round to the future Hall of Famer Floyd Mayweather Jr. Whichever way this fight went, it was sure to be a long-winded and punishing affair. Rather than the battle, he had hardened himself for Hatton, instead received the shock of his life as he ran into a human buzzsaw. Manny landed at will from first second to last, and the Englishman Hatton was down twice. Within the first 3 minutes in the second round, PacMan landed one of the most vicious blows of his career. A shuddering left hand to the jaw that laid Hatton flat out and sent a shudder down the spines of his fans.
I'm so confused.
Here in Pinoy High Five, we will always make sure to give a shiver down your spines. Just click that subscribe button and bang that bell to join our notification squad.
I can't fight for the rest of my life, you know? I have to do different things.
Let it go, let it go.